Hi, everyone. It's Thursday, and it is my favorite day of the week. It's so crazy how I say that, but I truly mean it. Like it is really become like my favorite day of the week. And it's so weird how when you set yourself up to just Thursday is my favorite day of the week, and you have like these just mental, I don't know, things you tell yourself, it like evolves to be that. Hence like the whole visualization thing. It's like what we tell ourselves is actually what happens. So after Thursday, me saying, this is my favorite day of the week, I'm like, I literally wake up and I'm like, it is the best day. Like, it is crazy. And I'm telling you the absolute truth. Like, it doesn't matter what happens on a Wednesday. I wake up on Thursday and I'm like, it's going to be a great day. And the sun is out shining and it is the best day ever. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Yadira. Yules. Okay, so Yules, I was thinking about you just a few minutes ago because so I'm preparing to do our live outside because it's so gorgeous and I need the sun because we have something here in Southern California called May gray, and then we have June gloom. And sure enough, May 1st, it's like all gray outside. And it just totally affects my mood. But then somehow on Thursday, we wake up and it's super bright and sunny. So anyways, I'm like, I have to be outside because I have to soak in the sun. I just vibe differently when it's sunny outside. I'm just a different person. My mood shifts. So I'm outside and I am hearing the gardener somewhere in the neighborhood mowing and blowing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really going to happen to me right now. Hence my headphones. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Just want to make sure you guys can hear me because I have kind of a new little setup here. Just let me know you can hear me. So I'll keep talking. Okay, good. Looks like you can. So I walk outside and it happens to be our gardener too, but he's just down the street. And I'm like going over to him and I'm like, hi, Efren. ¿Cuántos minutos? Like, I don't know how to say blower. How long are you going to be blowing is kind of what I wanted to ask him. And I'm like, gosh, like 8 years of Spanish and I can't even communicate. We got nowhere. So I was like, I better play it safe and I better put the headphones on and just allow like the noise to stay right here, hopefully. But I was thinking about Yules and whoever else speaks Spanish and thinking, I wish that I had those skills right now because I don't think he understood what I was saying. And I don't know who would. ¿Cuántos minutos? I mean, like, what is that? So funny. All right. So I know, so funny. I'm like, God, all those years I should have paid attention in school. There was something I could have learned. All right. And so we have a lot to talk about today. I just wanted to have it like an open conversation to talk about a couple key points and subjects that are really big and important. So not doing any cooking for you today. I just wanted to keep it kind of an open conversation. Answer any questions. You guys had some good ones for me. But first of all, how are you guys? It looks like everyone's loving the workouts. They are totally bringing me back to my competition days and yeah, just the isolated movements. And I had posted something today on my Instagram how some people would think I'm crazy when I say this, but muscle memory is a crazy thing. I swear. It's like you guys probably see how my body slightly fluctuates in terms of like, oh, she looks kind of tiny and where's the muscle? And then all of a sudden it's like, there's the muscle. It's like it totally fluctuates. And that is called muscle memory. Like the minute I start to like pick up the weights again or just slow things down and just change things up and do a little bit more weights versus faster movements, even last month's glute workouts, I saw such a change in it's called muscle memory. It's called once you got it, it's kind of hard to lose it. So that's why we're trying to create that foundation for all of you guys, because once you have it, you can mold it. It's like putty. It's like you can mold it. You can tweak it and you can kind of make it tinier and longer and leaner and whatever, or you can kind of bulk it up or shape it a little differently or add a little bit more muscle. Once you have that foundation, which is what we talk about, is having that solid foundation that we are creating here with you, every single one of you. The longer you're in this, the more that foundation is solid. If we just laid like little tiny sticks, it's not going to be very solid. But if we're laying that concrete and that solid foundation, the sky's the limit, and you can putty. It's like putty. You can change things however you want it when you have that foundation. So Yeah, I'm loving the workouts. They're definitely changing it up. I know it looks like a lot of you guys are really into this style of working out, which is awesome. It's just such a good change. We always want to be changing it up. And right now our muscles and our body is like, what the heck are you doing to me right now? Screaming. My body is definitely screaming. Yeah, so I'm glad that you guys are loving the workouts. And we're just gearing up for our squat challenge that's coming in June, and working on that for you guys. It's going to be awesome. I'm putting together like an all-inclusive ebook PDF. That's going to be great. I just decided, you know, we got to have like an entire plan devoted to, no pun intended, devoted to our summer squats. And yeah, it's going to be so fun. I love it. Everything about the summer squats, the sun, everything is just great. Yeah, and let's see. So the first thing I wanted to talk about with you guys today is eating for purpose. And, you know, I kind of came up with that. I was just typing and writing, and I just came up with that phrase, eating for purpose. And I kind of like seeing how it's being used and how it's really hitting home for so many people, and probably going to start circling through the internet. You're going to probably start hearing that word a little bit more, because it really is such a good, like, short and concise way of thinking about your food. There's eating clean. And I know we talked about this last week and even the week before with Tracy Polish's question, but I really want to just hit it home again and talk about it, because the more we talk about it, the different ways I say it, it might hit home. But I think so many people are just trying to figure out, like, why am I not getting the results? And I've realized it is, I've known what it was, but I've kind of like put it into these three words that just kind of hits home. It's eating for purpose. And, you know, you can eat clean. There's not eating clean where you don't know anything. You're just eating whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't care. You don't know why. You're just eating like absolute average, normal person, probably somebody that's not even into fitness. Then there's, I'm going to step up my fitness game and I'm going to make smart choices and I'm going to eat clean. And mind you, there's like little layers in between this, but this is like the three main. And then there's, I am going to eat for purpose. I am going to have a goal, and I'm going to be strategic with my eating, and I'm going to eat to take my body and my mind to another level. And so there's these three different kind of types of people, generally speaking. There's people in between. But so these are the three main people. And I have found that when people come to me and they're asking me, like, why am I not reaching my goals? Or even like some of the questions we get here, it's like, I always have to bring it back to, like, are you being consistent? Like, first of all, what are you eating? Are you being consistent? And so often people, you know, they tell me what they're eating, and I can literally within seconds pinpoint what's going on, how we can change things. But the summary is that for so many people, they're not really understanding this idea of eating for purpose. There's eating clean and just making very smart choices, and your body is going to look great, or I should say good. It may look great if you had like really fantastic genetics and you're eating clean, but it's going to take on like this like fit look. You know, you're eating clean, you might be like kind of skinny fat, or it's just going to take on this certain look. But then there's like this crisp look, which is the look that I love, the look that, you know, I like to walk around being extra crisp. It's just kind of the look I like. I like being just a little bit above, you know, that bar. I like to set the bar a little high. So then there's that difference. And in order to get your body to looking that way, you really have to eat for purpose. And like I have said, that is how all of my programs are laid out. Whatever plan that you're following, there's a rhyme and a reason to how we're eating. There's a reason why you're having so many fats on one day and not as many carbs, and maybe more carbs on one day and not as many fats. There is a reason for how we are manipulating the menu so that there's not an overflow of glycogen in our muscle stores or liver stores or wherever, and it doesn't spill over into excess or added body fat. So when you're eating for purpose, there's a way to still eat the food where, use this analogy of a balloon, where you're eating and you're kind of adding air into that balloon, the food, the glycogen. And then right before that balloon is going to be overflowed and like potential fat gain is when we deplete that balloon, we let out some of that air, and then we fill it back up. So it's this constant like back and forth, just balance of getting nutrients into the body, into the muscles, and then depleting and then back in. So not only scientifically, or, GFIT scientifically, is it allowing us to still give our body the food that we need without the spillover. It is allowing us to mentally stay on track because we're not depleting ourselves of one macro nutrient over another. So we're not doing like all low carb or all high fat, or all low fat, all low carb. Like that's just setting yourself up for disaster. So it's this idea of eating for purpose. And I had a phone call yesterday with a new potential client, and it was really interesting because I brought the conversation up with her because, of course, I'm going through her questionnaire and we're talking about her lifestyle and her eating habits. And she said that since January, she's been really sticking to a plan in terms of not binging or not falling off. And so she's been very happy because she's been consistent. But where she feels frustrated is that even with this consistency, she is not seeing progress. And so I said, aha, this is a perfect conversation. I've been talking about this idea of eating for purpose. And so I shared with her this whole thing, and I had her give me, exactly what her day looks like. And here's how it went. She's like, okay, so for breakfast, I have some eggs and some avocado and eggs, not necessarily egg whites, eggs and avocado. And then I have some yogurt with brown sugar. And then for lunch, I usually go out for lunch, but I usually go to like Panera Bread, and I have a salad, but I have them hold the dressing. I put it on the side, and there's walnuts on there, walnuts or pecans. Sometimes there's some sliced apples. And then I usually don't really have a snack midday. And then for dinner, I either have like, salmon or chicken and some vegetables. And sometimes I don't really do a lot of carbs because I've been told that carbs aren't really good for my PCOS. And then that's kind of my day. And that's kind of been my day on a regular basis. And so I'm like, this is such a perfect example of eating clean. You think you're eating clean, Greek yogurt, you're eating a healthy salad when you're out for lunch, and you're cutting out the salad dressing, and then you're having your eggs, and you're having your avocado and your pecans and all these different things. And so one would think, oh, that's eating clean. Like, why aren't I losing weight, right? That completely makes sense why somebody would get frustrated by that. But I'm trying to explain to her how you're eating perfectly clean and all those things are great. Now, mind you, I guarantee that the Panera salad probably has candied walnuts or pecans. I guarantee they're just not like, raw pecans. But she's making smart choices and she's eating clean. And, I told her about the brown sugar. I don't care if it's organic, raw brown sugar, it's still sugar. Told her about flex flavors. But the whole point is I was explaining to her how you're eating clean and good for you. But now we're going to start shifting things, and we're going to start changing your mindset, and we're going to start introducing carbs. Don't be afraid of them. We're going to start introducing them, but we're going to start introducing them into the right way, the right time, the right kinds. And that's what it's all about. So I'm really excited because I'm just I love just being able to not only shift the body, but to shift that mindset. Because I think that when you can shift that mindset from fearing food and fearing carbs to then all of a sudden being excited to eat them and then like fearless of them, it like opens up all these doors. Because it's like living your life where you're just constantly like on edge, like, oh my gosh, is this gonna what's this gonna do for me or that? Or, oh my gosh, like just in fear is not a good feeling to walk around any time of your life. So breaking this wall, this breakthrough that we talk about, where we can start to kind of release the shackles for her to not be afraid of food and to not be afraid of carbs and to understand this concept of eating for purpose, is it's game changing. It's life changing. It's absolutely so freeing. So I'll keep you posted on her progress, but I'm excited for her. But it just summed up this whole eating for purpose, and I really want you guys to understand the difference. And so if you're not seeing the results that you want, I really want you to sit back and say, okay, am I eating clean? Like, have I kind of gone off track and started kind of following a plan and following structure, and then now I'm kind of like falling off the wagon and I'm starting to eat more for just eat clean, because I feel like, okay, I've kind of got this now. Okay, Gina's taught me salmon's good. Gina's taught me, almonds with a shake is a good snack, and oh, fruit's good, the right types. So you can see how you can start to kind of add things, even if they're good things, and you kind of lose sight of the purpose, lose sight of the flow. So it is such a great topic, and one that I want to continually revisit. And a lot of the questions that I get, I'm always going to say, okay, how are you eating? Are you eating clean, or have you come off of our purpose path? So that's really going to be key for your success and for getting that crisp look. But check in with yourself, because if your blueprint is telling you that I'm cool without getting that crisp look, I'd rather I want to eat my apples and I want to do this, but just know that there's might be a little bit of a different path that you're going to be on, and that's okay. You have to just check in with that blueprint, which is what this week is all about. So, yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. And then on a personal note story. So this week, my husband, Michael, started the UAP for men, and it's like his go-to plan. And, he's great. He'll go in waves where he's like, I'm going to eat clean, and then I'm going to tighten it up, and I'm going to eat for purpose, and I'm going to eat clean. And these are my words, not his. And I'm going to eat clean, and then I'm going to tighten it up. And so, when he's very clean, like I cook for him, maybe add a little cheese to his stuff, or a little, extra sausage or whatnot, but he eats very clean. But he's a sauce guy, so he likes to add the sauces. So he was eating clean, and then he's like, all right, time to tighten it up. So I'm going to jump on the men's UAP, and he always has great results on that. So he started this week. And within days, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to my world. That's what happens when you start eating clean, and you got to eat more veggies. You got to fill your plate, because sorry, that cheese that you were eating that was filling you, you're not getting that anymore. So there's a difference. And it's just so funny, because once you start to eat for purpose, I'm not saying you're going to be starving and miserable. I mean, just add in veggies and add in the good stuff. But people don't realize, because he used to be, go to bed without having something before bed, because he would just get out of that routine. And now all of a sudden, he's making his mug cake at night. He's having the shakes. And I'm like, see, now you're wondering why I'm always eating. You understand now what's going on? Because that cheese that you have in your meal, that clean cheese, is tiding you over, because it's more satiating. Yeah. So anyways, it's really that whole idea of eating clean and eating for purpose. And there's a difference, and that's why his body is changing as I'm speaking right now, because he's starting to eat for purpose. So, yeah, that was just a little side note, but something that I noticed, I'm like, I see the mug cake. Making up that mug cake at night now, when you used to go to bed without eating something. And I never understood that. I'm like, how are you not hungry? So it's kind of funny to watch. Yeah, and the beauty is that, just like Mari said, she's like, when you start eating clean, you start to notice, thank you, because this is going to go into my next topic. When you truly start to eat clean, and when you start to eat for purpose, you start to learn your body. You start to learn fluctuations, and you start to understand what is happening and why it's happening. So when you're eating clean, not necessarily for purpose, and you're just kind of living your life, you don't really get to the nitty gritty of what's going on with your body, and understanding oh, I'm feeling this way because, it's a higher carb day, or it's a higher fat day, or you start to just really get in touch with your body. You start to get in touch with your cravings. You start to get in touch with what is going on. And that is going to bring me to my next topic. So the next topic, I want to talk to you about refuel meals. And these are meals that I incorporate as needed in my daily life. So I've been eating for purpose for a very long time. And when I travel, I tend to go on to more of a eating clean, and then I come back and I eat for purpose. And then, kind of goes like that. So because I eat for purpose, and I've gotten to know my body. And because I love my foods, I really don't ever feel the need to go off of eating for purpose. The only reason I do is when I'm traveling and things are just out of my hands. But for the most part, I am completely satisfied eating for purpose, loving my food, loving the way my body responds and all of that. So I tend to not crave refuel meals as often as one would when I would say they're not eating correctly. I think when you're not necessarily eating for purpose, you almost have these cravings because they're stimulated in other ways for other reasons. But when you start to have this, like, I call it like this perfect flow and your body's like just in a good groove, you start to have less cravings. And I had a client. Now she's kind of a silent member here. I'm not going to name her. Maybe I know one day she's going to share her success, but she doesn't post, but she watches. And she started on a one-on-one with me about 6 weeks ago, and we had a conversation all about eating for purpose once again. And one of the biggest things before we got started was she was like, how am I going to, I really need to have my refuel meals. I need to have my meals on the weekends. Like, how am I not going to have those? And she was really kind of freaking out about her refuel meals. And I just made her, there's only so much you can say before somebody gets started because they have to see it for themselves. But I was just explaining to her that you are going to be, I promise you, like once your body's in balance and you're giving it what it needs in the right amounts and the right flows, you aren't going to have those cravings for those refuel meals like you think you are. Now, fast forward 6 weeks into the plan and she has not had one, and she's like, I don't even need them. Like, I feel good. I'm not craving anything. And I'm like, yes. I had to just, you have to see it for yourself. But so, having these refuel meals, they're not something that you have to have on a regular. So like when we talk about refuel meals, I just wanted to say, it's something that once you start eating for purpose, you know when you need a refuel and you know when you're good without one. So as you're continuing with our challenges and our workouts, it's really about learning your body, and that all happens when you start eating for purpose and you start to like tap into yourself and you start to, oh my gosh, like I know when I need a refuel. Like I know when pizza is calling my name. It is like this physical need. It is not a mental. It's not like, oh my God, I'm having a bad week, I need to go have pizza. It's like this, I can just feel it. It's like my body needs it. And that is where I want all of you guys to get to, is to that point where you know the difference between here and here, and you know when to go have that refuel. And there is a true difference, and you will know it. You will feel it. You will know it. So when people ask me like, oh, like, don't you get cravings from this and that? And it's like, I do. And when I have them, I know that I need them and I let myself have them. But 80% of the time, I'm just so content and so happy with what I'm eating that I'm good. And so I want you to get to that point to not fear them, but to know when you truly need them versus when it's up here telling you that oh my God, I'm stressed out. And that's, when a lot of people tend to go crazy. So I had this amazing refuel last week. I had my typical pizza. It was so delicious. Posted all about it. We went on our date night, and it was just, I go on date nights where I'm totally on plan. Like, I'm going to have salmon and veggies and I'm good. And I'm good. Have a glass of wine, and I'm completely content. And then there's those other times where I'm just like, I am feeling and needing pizza. And one thing that I know for me is I can feel it, but it's like, once I commit, once I commit to this is what I need, then I don't even think about anything else. It's the only thing on my mind is that's what I'm having, and there's no questions asked. It's like flipping that light switch on when you're ready to start a plan. It's no questions asked. I'm starting the program. For me, it's when I know I need that refuel, it's I don't even think twice about it. I don't have those guilty thoughts or feelings. So it comes with time, but it all comes when you start eating for purpose and you start to really tap in to that deeper level when you understand the difference between these two. Because I don't have a refuel because of a bad week. I have it because of a need for my physical. And the truth is, the following day, I posted the post pizza picture. It's you see that your body soaks it up. And it's it's almost like you blossom. It's okay, good. I'm restarted. And so that is how I treat my refuels, and how I want you guys to start to treat your refuels, is to really understand that you need them versus want them, and kind of where they come into our eating for purpose, because they absolutely have a purpose and a place. Okay. So yeah, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. And then the third, yeah, good. A lot of people are commenting about this. Yeah, we could go on and on about refuels. And again, you guys, if you have any questions, I mean, I'm here. Everyone's here to kind of help you get through those things, because refuels can totally be a struggle. They're definitely, especially when you've been working so hard. It's like this fear of, it's fear. It's like, I've been working so hard and I've been doing so good. Like, and I'm going to put this in my mouth. Like, so there's like this definite fear factor, but I want to like break through that fear factor, break through that, because they're there for a reason. But if they're used correctly and for purpose, not just as all out stress management. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so I had an interesting week. It's always about change, being comfortable with discomfort, being flexible with our approaches. And so, when my kids are out of school, I have to get in my cardio and I can't go to the pool. So I do a run. I go on this crazy run. I have a double bob stroller. We have this route that we go on, crazy uphill, but with the uphill comes the downhill. And it's been kind of the talk of our family. Like, when are you going to get rid of this bob? Like, David is literally too big for the bob. His legs are beyond. And I'm like, I still have got a couple months. I can still do it. So I've been running with him, and he's like bundled up, not even buckled in because he can't clasp. So he's, so we're digging deep, and these have been like the most killer workouts ever. And I've been like, okay, how much longer can I go? And I'm willing to go as long as I can. Well, last week I went on my final run with the bob, and the kicker was that my knees started to kind of hurt. And I realized at that point that I had to listen to my body, and that all that weight going downhill was just killing my body. And so the ups are great. I mean, they are killer on the buns, killer on the hamstrings. Love it. Great burn. But it's that downhill that was absolutely killing my knees. And so once again, like, listening to my body and getting out of my head, telling me I can do it, is like, I had to just, that was the last time. So I have since retired the bob. The good news is it's gone to another client of mine who has 2 kids. So at least it's in good hands. So it was really a sad day. And I think the mamas out there are going to understand where I'm coming from. I know that the husband doesn't quite understand. He's like, really? You're sad about your bob? I'm like, yeah, like, it's really sad, because that was my routine, and that was my structure, and that was what I did with the kids. And now, like, that chapter is closed. And not only is it like kind of sad, but it's like, now I have to learn to figure out a different way to still get in my cardio and become flexible and change things up. And we're all just love our structure. We all love like knowing what we're doing. And so when we're kind of into that place of the unknown, it's different. And so it's like, okay, now I'm going to have to change it up, and I don't go to a gym, and I don't have a treadmill, and David rides his bike now. So that's a great thing. So now maybe I can run with a single bob, and then he can ride his bike, but that's kind of like a free day, because I'm not getting like a killer run. I mean, I'm going to have to, we're going to have to run together. It's going to be great quality time, great family time, but I wouldn't consider that like all out killing it. So I'm trying to kind of figure things out, and I'll keep you posted on that. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about how, closing one chapter, starting anew, how it's never easy, how it's scary, and how we have to be okay with it and see the beauty and like changing things up. Because if I wouldn't have gotten pregnant and gotten in the pool, I wouldn't have found my love for swimming. So our plan now is that I'm going to try to do yoga on the days that the kids are out of school and I have help to watch the kids. That way I can do that. And then otherwise take it down to the beach and go on a run with him riding his bike, and then maybe do some sprint work and make it like a fun game. So I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm in this like transitional phase where I'm having to kind of change my routine and be okay with the change and accept the change and go with it. So I'll keep you posted, but it was kind of an interesting week. Like, it's almost kind of emotional, like that chapter's closed, and yeah, so I'll have to keep you posted on that. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the questions that were asked, and Yeah, Gina, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that understand that have been there. I know, Cassandra, it's like my double bob was my life. It was like, I can't even tell you how many miles I put on that thing. But it sounds like, Gina and people understand that, there's a time when you just gotta give it up, I guess. I mean, for the love of my knees, I just had to stop, because that's the last thing I need is to have knee problems. I don't even want to think about what would happen then, because that would be horrible. So, more reason why I absolutely love the pool is that it's low impact on my knees, therefore less injury. Okay, so we have some good questions, so let me dig into some of these. By the way, Cassandra, how are you doing on your plan? Hi, Corey, you made it. You're doing awesome, girl. Oh my gosh, Trisha just popped in. Trisha, I cannot wait to reveal the cookie recipe. Trisha came over yesterday to pick up some stuff, and she dropped off these cookies, and she knows me. Normally I try them and then I save them for other people to try. And yeah, I couldn't stop. They were so delicious. And they're on plan, completely on plan. Those cookies were phenomenal. I couldn't stop thinking about them. So we'll reveal that cookie recipe with you guys soon. It's so good. So good. Okay, first question is from Petra. She says, I struggle often with what to eat or not before my work. I struggle often with what to eat or not before my workout, and I don't mean fasted cardio. I still don't do any cardio, but I'm always start the day with the circuits in the morning. Lately, I notice I stop my workouts because I start to shake and get uncomfortably sweaty, get dizzy. It mostly happens when I have something small before my workouts, but I always thought we need something small before we train. What is happening here, and what can I do about this to avoid this? And I really don't want to interrupt my workouts. Okay, that's interesting, because normally you get shaky and you get that feeling when you don't eat, because it's like your blood sugar is dipping. So two things here. It's going to be one or the other. First thing is, try having that same amount, because you definitely want to have something before you train with our workouts, especially these workouts that we're doing now. Like always before you work out, you want to have something. Empty stomach cardio is a different story, but we're talking about working out. So two things I want you to try. First thing is, try having that same meal that you're having, but give yourself a little bit more time before you do your workout. So eat that first thing and then allow it to digest, because maybe you're having some issues because your body's trying to digest the food, but then your body's also trying to process your workout. So do that. So start there and see if that helps. So give yourself a little bit more time to digest your food. Second thing I want you to do, if that doesn't work, is to eat more. Maybe you're needing more food because your blood sugar is low, because you're burning through what you just ate that quickly, because you're putting it all into your workouts. So I want you to try those two things and keep me posted, because I definitely don't want you feeling like you're going to pass out. A little bit more time before your workout to let your food digest, or eat more at that meal. Maybe you need more fuel. Okay, good question. Next question. Hi, Gina. Can I split my cardio and integrate it into my circuit workouts? For example, doing the Bowflex, then doing round 1 of a circuit, then doing more time, then round 2, more time, round 3. Absolutely. That is such a great way to maximize your time and to really get through your workout. If you have just like a short amount of time, but you're still trying to kill that workout, get in both cardio and training. So again, there's a time and a place to do duration cardio, but if you're in a bind and you want to just integrate that into your circuit workouts, it's a great way to blast body fat. Absolutely. I love that. 11 and a half minutes, she says, Bowflex. And then doing the circuit and then jumping back on. Yeah, I love it. Give that a try and see how you do, and then change it up. Maybe every 4 weeks you change and you just focus on just doing circuits and then finishing up with more steady state cardio. Okay, so take notes, take pictures, see what's happening with your body, and keep me posted on how that goes. But it sounds like a great workout. Next question. Somebody asks, I've always wanted to ask you, but never have. How come in all your plans and workouts you don't have any chest exercises? I just was wondering, since I know your chest muscles are just as important as your opposing back muscles, just wondering, I always add chest exercises to your plans when I'm doing those workouts, but I've always wondered why you don't have them in our plans. I do know we do push-ups from time to time, and those are great chest and all upper body exercises, but just throwing the question at you. So that is a great question, and I don't focus on isolated chest exercises because push-ups are a great way to work that upper chest, front delts, also doing a lot of our delt works when we're doing front raises, when we're doing Arnold's, all those uppercuts. You're working the chest, you're working the upper chest, you're working all the upper chest muscles, because you're right. We don't want to not focus on anything here and then work the rear delts and work the back muscles. And then actually that's where we can have posture issues. So it is all about balance. You want to make sure you're working the back, you're working the front, you keep everything balanced. However, I've just never done isolated like chest press. We do incline shoulder press or chest press. That way you can still focus on the delts as the primary, but you're also hitting the chest as the secondary. Unless you're bodybuilding, or unless you are, I guess bodybuilding, or you just love doing chest presses, then I don't really feel the need to do pec deck or to do like purely chest exercises on a flat bench straight bar. So that's just my take on it. Yeah, that's just completely my take. With what we're doing with the chest and the upper chest and the shoulder front delt work is plenty to really balance out the chest area and upper back. Next question is, I'm doing your 7-day body blast and really enjoying it. How long do you recommend doing this program? Am I better off doing the UAP to change things up, or should I continue with the 7-day body blast? I'm going overseas in 7 weeks and I want to be the best shape possible. I love that you love the body blast. It's such a great plan, and it's completely fine because all the plans are for purpose. It is completely fine to do a few weeks in a row, but it's not a plan that I would recommend that you do for life. And not because you're going to be ultra depleted and it's going to like do harm to your body, but because it is a little bit more restrictive. And so it's meant to blast body fat in a short amount of time. So you can do it 1 to 3 weeks, you know, even if you did it 4 weeks, it's not going to hurt you, but really there's no need to stay on that plan long duration. I would say, especially if you have 7 weeks until your vacation, I would jump on the UAP and then I would follow it up with a 7-day body blast right before you leave. And that is such a perfect plan. So do the UAP for 6 weeks, and then do the body blast for your final week. Be consistent on the plans, and you're guaranteed to look smoking and rock your vacation. So that's my suggestion on that. The last question is from Ruth. She says, Hi Gina, I just want to build muscle and lose body fat. What plan or plans would you recommend? Should I keep doing the UAP or 365, or a combination of both as far as food and exercise? So Ruth, your perfect plan right now, if that's what you want, is to be doing our VIP workouts, because they are in line with the 365, which is going to help you build that beautiful muscle, and then follow the plan of the UAP or the breakthrough, that nutritional guide along with what we're doing, or the VIP diet if that's what you want to do. But either of those three, I would recommend over the Ultimate Shred 365 diet. So do either of those three diets and do our VIP workouts right now, and do everything consistently for purpose. And that is going to be the best way for you to gain that muscle and to drop body fat. So let me know what you decide and keep us posted. But it's such a perfect time to rock our VIP workouts, because they are all about building that muscle and building that foundation, so that no matter what else you do, when we start doing different circuits, you've got that quality muscle that's built in. So on that note, I want to wrap up by saying, so you guys, we have almost completed our first week of the shred workouts, and next week we're going to be doing another round of workouts, which are going to be from the June Ultimate Shred plan. I've pulled some from June because I wanted to have a variety. And then we're going to go back to having you guys repeat what we just did this week and then what we are doing next week. So the whole point of these workouts is to get better with each time. Push a little bit more weight. Focus on that posture. So now that you know how to do the workouts and I've laid them out for you, we're going to do those this week. We've got a new set next week, and then we're going to come back and repeat this week's workouts, and then we're going to repeat next week's workouts for a final month of some killer, isolated body burn. Okay? So let me see. There might be a couple questions here that I can hit on before we close. Cassandra, I've always had issues with my blood sugar when I'm strictly on plan. I have a tendency to wake up in the middle of the night shaking and sweating, part of the sugar detox, and I'm hypoglycemic. So definitely when you first get started on a plan, there is a lot of detox that happens, that goes on. It's completely normal to kind of be detoxing, to have those, like, you know, those night sweats, and to have that. That is completely normal for the first week, maybe even 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden, it's like going from your first trimester to your second trimester. It's like you just all of a sudden start to feel better. And if you're still having those issues, then that means that there needs to be more food added in. Add in that 7th meal of a shake, add in more vegetables, add in some of the, you know, fill that BAS, that big ass salad, make it just a little bit bigger. But the truth is that first initial couple weeks, it's truly like your first trimester. It's such a good analogy. I just came up with it right now, but it's exactly what it is. It's just like, I'm just not feeling that good. And then it's like, come week 13, you're like, I feel amazing. So just get through it. Let me know if that continues. Because really on our plans, that blood sugar stays steady. That stays steady, and you should not be having those crazy ups and downs. And if you do, it's just a matter of you being hangry and you needing to eat. Let's see here. Oh, good, Ruth, you got the question. Perfect. I hope that answered it. Keep me posted what you decide, but you're in a good place with what we're doing right now. Yadira, is it bad that I always train after fasted cardio on an empty stomach? I do it all at once, but I eat right away after my first meal. It's really my only way to get it in because of my crazy day. So that's a really good question. So if it's your only way, it's not a bad idea. But that's kind of a lot of cardio, and that's kind of a lot going on in an hour with no food. So if at all, 2 things you can do: get in a shake, at least post cardio, get in something, down a shake, have a pancake. I mean, how hard is it to have a pancake ready to go, your meal 1, get it in, get in your workout, especially with these workouts. Second option is for you to do the workout first, eat, then do the workout, and then do your cardio post-workout. So you have 2 options though, Yadi. And I know that you're working really hard and maintaining that muscle. So I would try doing that, because I really don't want you to be doing too much on an empty stomach and be kind of going against what we're trying to do. So 2 options: eat, train, cardio. Second option, cardio, get your food in, even if it's the protein, and then circuit, and then eat. Okay? So I hope that helps you. All right, you guys. Yeah, Trisha said right before bed, having that last meal definitely keeps the blood sugar steady. Hence why we have that last meal, even if it's at 10 o'clock, because especially the Devotion Whey Casein blend, the casein is the slower digesting protein that allows you to just keep that blood sugar stable while you sleep. So have your devotion. It's all good. Okay, you guys, have an amazing day. Love connecting with you guys. It's gorgeous out. So let's roll this energy into the weekend. Keep crushing the workouts. Love you guys lots. Talk to you real soon.